All right, I'm live. So I'm sure, as you're all aware, the federal government is making mandatory for everyone in the public sector or public service to get the jab. But at the same time, there's also those that are like pushing back against these unlawful mandates. So I want to pull up an article that explains it. So this is an article from True North that says RCMP union will support members who refuse COVID-19 jab. Following the Trudeau government's mandate requiring all Mounties to be immunized against COVID-19, the union representing Royal Canadian Mounted Police (RCMP) officers says it will support its members' decision to be jabbed or not. National Police Federation (NPF) President Brian Soft said the union was expecting more dialogue with the government on its jab mandate, adding the NPF is disappointed with the government's engagement by notification approach. As we have maintained throughout 2021, consistent with our duty of fair representation, the NPF will continue to support members' access to jabs and their choice to be jabbed or not. We have also clarified to them the potential consequence of their decisions at SOF. We will continue to monitor Treasury Board and the RCMP's implementation of this policy framework and will support our members as needed and appropriate on an individual basis. The NPF represents 20,000 members of the RCMP. Last week, the government announced that all public servants, including members of the RCMP, must be jabbed or face suspension without pay. The government order could come into effect as early as November 15. All travelers must also be fully jabbed by October 30 before boarding planes, trains, or marine vessels. These travel measures are some of the strongest in the world because when it comes to keeping you and your family safe, when it comes to avoiding lockdowns for everyone, this is no time for half measures, Trudeau said. If you've done the right thing and gone jabbed, you deserve the freedom to be safe from COVID, to have your kids be safe from COVID, to get back to the things you love. And that's the end of the article. So here it with like Trudeau saying like you deserve the freedom to be safe from COVID if you've gone the jab. Um so it's like in a way he's saying that if you haven't like taken the jab, then you don't you don't deserve like you don't deserve freedom. And he also says to have your kids be safe from COVID, which like it's already been like mentioned and proven that the kids, they have little to no risk from COVID. So I don't know why he's saying that. And I remember like during the election campaign, like the recent election for recent election, during the election campaign, Trudeau was saying things like how the unjabbed are a threat to children, which is a complete lie. But it shows like the division the government is like creating with between like the jabs and those who haven't taken the jab. So it's like the government just wants like everybody to just hate on the unjabbed people and to blame them for like all the restrictions and all that, which is not true. So so yeah, that's the end of this article. So I want to so yeah, that's the end of the article, and I want to pull up another article about the jabs. But this time it's like this time it's about a town that's trying to like enforce these jab mandates. So I'm gonna like pull it up right now. So, so this is from the town of Oakville's website. So it says proof of getting the jab. It says starting September 21st, 2021, the town of Oakville will require anyone 12 years of age or older to provide proof of identification and proof of full COVID-19 shots or medical exemption prior to entering or accessing any of the following: indoor use of recreation and culture facilities, including arenas, community centers, pools, senior centers, the Oakville Center for the Performing Arts in Oakville, Museum at Erchless Estate, Service Oakville Counter at Town Hall. Appointments for marriage licenses and ceremonies that have already been booked prior to September 22nd will not require proof of full jobs. However, any new appointments for marriage licenses and ceremonies will be required. Ceremonies will be held inside Town Hall as of November 4th, 2021. So this part, the third part here, like this part here is like getting a lot of attention as it's saying like now you have to be like now you can't even get married or even apply for a marriage license unless you've taken the job. So I think this is an example of like government overreach and shows like how they're basically like getting involved in things in like private stuff or private events that that they shouldn't be concerned with. So like even things that aren't like within their like jurisdiction, like the government is still like trying to like overreach into like private stuff, so like weddings and all that. So that's just an example here. So then down here it says age requirement to show proof of being fully jabbed. So it says proof of jab and proof of identity will be required from all visitors ages 12 and older. It says proof of jab and proof of identity will be required from all visitors ages 12 and older. Individuals who do not show proof of being fully jabbed will not be permitted to enter impacted facilities or participate in indoor programming without an approved exemption. Please note, in alignment with several provincial sport organizations, job policies, and to support youth working towards full, full like jobs, the town will allow individuals between 12 and 17 years of age born 2004 to 2009 who are not fully jabbed 14 days after last dose and participating in organized sports to enter recreation and culture facilities up to October 31st if they show proof of getting their first dose and or second dose along with valid identification. However, as of November 1st, 2021, these individuals will need to provide proof of being fully jabbed to enter recreation and culture facilities, even to participate in organized sports. And the next one says, what is needed when entering the impacted facilities? So here it's just saying like how you need proof of like getting the shot. And so like how you need proof of getting the shot, and then it says like job receipts are available in PDF form to be downloaded. So yeah, so it's basically just saying how you need like proof of getting the job to enter like any like place. So and then down here it says individuals under age 12 years of age who are unable to be jabbed or exempt but must provide proof of identity. Individuals who cannot receive the jab due to medical exemptions are exempt but must show a doctor's note and ID to gain entry. Please note the doctor's note must be supplied by a physician designated as MD. Um, or by a registered nurse in the extended class designated as a registered nurse extended class RN, EC, nurse practitioner, or NP, and it must state that the individual is exempt for a medical reason for being fully jabbed against COVID-19 and the effective time period for the medical reason. The town will make reasonable efforts to accommodate patrons who are unable to get jabbed against COVID-19 for reasons protected under the Ontario Human Rights Code. And this one says like identification requirements. So these are all like the IDs that are accepted. So, and then here it says proof of job request for exemption under the Ontario Human Rights Code. So this is like for like an exemption, and then down and then over here it says frequently asked questions. Uh, so like, there's a lot of questions here, but I'm only going to read the first one. So it says, why is the town of Oakville? Why is the town of Oakville implementing a mandatory COVID-19 job policy that exceeds the provincial requirements? The town of Oakville's proof of jobs for select settings procedure exceeds the province's proof of job regulations in an effort to provide added protection to our community and town staff from COVID 19. The town has taken steps to provide additional protection to the community and its employees by requiring anyone 12 years of age or older, including those aged 12 to 17 participating in organized sports, to be fully jabbed to enter town recreation and culture facilities and town hall, regardless of their purpose for attending. This decision was made in consultation with the town's indoor sport user groups while aligning with the town's COVID-19 job policy and public health recommendations that Ontarians aged 12 and older be jabbed. Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the town of Oakville has implemented and enforced significant health and safety measures in our workplaces and in our community. Based on the province's direction to require proof of the job in select settings, the town is implementing a COVID-19 job policy that includes mandatory jobs for staff and visitors in town-owned facilities to better protect each other from COVID-19 and the highly transmissible Delta variant circulating in the community. The town continues to follow provincial regulations and public health guidelines, and residents are encouraged to do so as well. So here, this question is basically asking like, why is the town of Oakville like implementing their own job policy that exceeds the provincial requirements? So like I showed earlier, it like up here it said like appointments for marriage appointments for marriage licenses and ceremonies. So in Oakville you can't even apply for a marriage license unless you've taken the job. So this is like something even like the provincial government hasn't even like done. So yeah, this is like an example of like government overreach and how they're basically just trying to like intrude into people's lives, and like even in things that they have no business in being in, like in weddings and all that. Like those are private events, but but like the municipal government in Oakville thinks like, I guess they have to regulate that, and they have to regulate that. So now they're making it mandatory for people to be jabbed like just to like have a wedding or even apply for a marriage license. So yeah, like stuff like this is just an example of like, government overreach and how they're basically just like infringing on people's rights. So yeah, and I'm sure like it's only like gonna get worse. It's not gonna end here. So I'm sure there's like more to come with like all these job policies and all that. So yeah, so yeah, I think that's everything on this page, this article, this page. So yeah, so let me close that. So yeah, that's just an example of like government overreach and how like they're trying to impede like people's personal lives, like how they're trying to basically control like people's private lives as well. So as the town of Oakville is an example with their with as they want to make as now like people want to get married, they now they have to be jobbed in order to do that, or even to like apply for a marriage license. So yeah, that's an example of like government overreach and into like private private things or private events. So yeah, and I'm sure like it's only gonna get worse. I don't think it's gonna get any better. So yeah, I really hope people start waking up and realizing that it's not about your health and safety as they like to claim. So yeah, now I'll be signing off now.